Hey guys, this is percentages day 15. Today we're going to be doing more quantities as a percentage of the other word problems. So let's get started. Okay, just a little review from yesterday. We had three different sort of clues that we talked about that you can look for in word problems. We had is, as, or are over of, and we had change over original, and we had more over than. So go ahead and I want you to pause the video and try this first problem on your own. You should be able to do this, I think. So go ahead and try it and then come back and check your work. All right. So let's take a look at this word problem. It says the cost of a TV set is $1,200. It is sold for $900. Express the selling price as a percentage of the cost price. So obviously we need selling over cost, right? And so that means we're going to write 900 in our numerator and 1200 in our denominator. And if we want to express this as a percentage, we need to convert this to a percentage. So let's use actually method 2 this time. And we're going to multiply it by 100 over 1. So we're going to go ahead and cross cancel there. And then we're going to get 900 over 12, which is going to equal 75%. So hopefully you thought of a statement to write or did write a statement. And it should have looked something like this. The selling price is 75% of the cost price. Okay, number 2. Let's take a look at this one. This has two parts to it. The usual price of a vacuum is $150. It is sold for $120. Part A says, how much is the discount? And our little hint there says to find the difference. And part B says to express the discount as a percentage of the usual price. So it's going to be discount as, and then of usual price, and we're going to express it as a percentage. Okay, so what's the discount on my vacuum? Well, if the usual price is $150 and it's sold for $120, the discount is the difference between the two. So the discount in this case is just going to be $30. And then it says down here in part B to express the discount as, so we're going to do discount a percentage of usual price. So discount over usual. So that's going to be 30 over 150. And if we're going to express this as a percentage, we need to use either method 1 or method 2 to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use method 2, and I'll just start cross-canceling here. I'm going to cross-cancel 0 there. And I'm going to actually take this 15 and divide it by 15, make it a 1, and divide that 30 by 15 and make it a 2. And now I have 2 times 10, or 2 over 1, times 10 over 1, which equals 20%. All right, so the discount is 20% of the selling price. Okay, this is a TOYO, so go ahead and stop the video, try it on your own, and then come back and check your work. Make sure that you box things and write your fraction in words before you do your actual fraction and then convert it to a percentage. Okay, so you should have said that the discount is 40% off the usual price. And this is an as or of problem. So the big hint here was when it said express the discount as a percentage of the usual price. And it said find out how much the discount is first. So hopefully you boxed those together and then boxed the of the usual price together. And the discount was $8 because it was the difference between 20 and 12. And so we would have put 8 on the top, and then the usual price was 20, so we put that on the bottom. then we times it by 100 over 1 or 5 over 5, whichever you prefer, and we get 40%. Okay, the next one says James weighed 40 kilograms last year. He weighs 43 kilograms now. Express the increase in weight as a percentage of his weight last year. So this is a change over original problem. So we want to find the change in his weight, and we want to put it over the original from last year. So let's do increase over original weight. And let's see what that is. So if he weighed 40 kilograms last year and weighs 43 kilograms now, that means that the difference is going to be 3 kilograms. So that's our increase. His original weight was 40 kilograms. And we want to express this as a percentage. So let's multiply that by 100 over 1. And cross out those kilograms there. And let's go ahead and cross cancel there. And we can divide 4 by 2 and get 2, and divide 10 by 2 and get 5. And we get 15 over 2, which equals 7.5%. So our answer is that James's weight increased 7.5% from his weight last year. All right, the next one is a TOYO, and it's a more than problem. Pause the video and come back and check your work. All right, there are 50 men and 40 women at a party. How many percent more men than women are there? So more men is boxed, and than women. So more men is going to go on the top, than women is going to go on the bottom. Hopefully you ended up with an answer that looked like this, that there are 25% more men than women at the party. You had to find the difference between men and women and put that on the top, which is 50 minus 40, so 10. So 10, and then you put that over women. And then if you were to convert that to a percentage, you got 25%. Whoops. All right, let's try another one. The swim club had 25 members last year. It has 32 members this year. By what percentage was the number of members increased? So this is a change over original problem, but it doesn't use that wording anywhere in here, so you kind of have to just recognize it. So my number of members increased is going to be on the top. So increase is going up here. And let's see, we're going to put the original on the bottom. So let's find out first by how many members the swim club increased. So I need to find the difference. So I'm going to take the number of members now, and I'm going to subtract the number of members last year. So 32 minus 25, and of course I'm going to get 7. And that's what I'm going to put on my top for increase. My original number was 25, right? So that goes on the bottom. And now all I have to do is use method 1 or method 2 to convert that to a percent. And I like method 1 on this one since we have 25 there in the denominator. So we're going to get 28 over 100, which equals 28%. So the swim club increased by 28% is how we would answer that question. Okay, another TOYO. Go ahead and stop the video, come back, and check your work. All right, so hopefully you did the decrease on top and the original on the bottom, which meant that you ended up with a fraction that looked like this. And when you did all the math on that, you ended up with a decrease of 20%. So we would say that the number of fans decreased by 20%. Okay, last one that I'm going to teach through, and then you have one more TOYO. All right, Maddie's weekly allowance was increased from $10 to $15 when she agreed to shovel snow. Letter A, find the increase in her weekly allowance. So the increase is just the new amount minus the old amount. So 15 minus 10. So her increase was $5. And then it says by what percentage was her weekly allowance increased. So this is a change over original still. So the change would be $5. The original amount, oops, was $10. So we're going to multiply that by 10 over 10. That's going to give us 50 over 100, which equals 50%. So we would say that Maddie's weekly allowance increased by 50%. Okay, this one you're going to do on your own, then come back and check your work. Go ahead and pause the video really quick. All right, friends. Hopefully you answered $15 for letter A when you were to find the increase in his weekly allowance. And for letter B, it was a little bit tricky, right? Because it's going to be more than 100%. So your answer should have been 150%. And how we got there, we put the increase over the original. And just looking at this fraction, I can tell it's going to be over 100%, right? Because that numerator is greater than the denominator by 10 over. So we multiply by 10 over 10 to convert it to a fraction. We get 150 over 100, which equals 150%. All right, friends, that's it for day 15. And if you are at home today, your homework is going to be workbook exercise 21.